Students, Assalamu alaikum. In the previous session, we unable to complete our lecture, so we just take the 20-minute session. So today we are going to complete that time in the session. So today's session is 1 hour. And in the previous session, we left from this slide, so we will continue from this slide, and after it, we will start a new chapter. This is chapter 2. The first, in this slide, we have the innovation strategies, in which we have the possible events. Possible events is basically about the radical breakout in products and applications of existing technology to new users. So in this we look what strategy can be possible, what type of technology we have, so we can avail it, and possible strategies, basically possible events. So then we have the strategic decision about innovation. So innovation, some companies adopt the innovation strategy. So in this we have the basic research and product development and process innovation. So in basic research we do some basic research and product development. In this we develop the product, and in process innovation we work on the innovation and creativity. We try to create a product in a way which is unique and creative, um, which is unimaginative, and we can try to develop it. So then we have first mover. Basically, first mover are those which initiate the idea first, and then the other peoples adopt it and modify it. So in an organization that brings a product innovation to market and use a new process innovation. So basically, it means that the organization which bring new concept, new idea, and new thought in the market, and then the other companies and other organizations are adopting it, or try to copy it, I try to replica it. So first mover are those companies. So first mover have the good reputation in the market about their innovation. So they have a strong image about it. And then we have the second, basically the last one. First mover advantage and disadvantage. So here are some advantage of first mover and some disadvantage of it. So they have a reputation of innovation in the market, and they have learning benefits because they are creative peoples, and they are well known about their innovative and creative thinking or products. So this is the advantage of first mover, and they have a good control on the scarce resources, and they are a good competitor, and they have a competitive advantage in the market, and they can build the customer relationship and the customer loyalty. So because they are initiate the good idea, initiate the creative idea in the market, so that customers who value the creativity, who value the uniqueness of products, so they are their customer, and they are loyal because the organization and competitive, which is basically innovation and creativity. And disadvantage is that because there is some sort of uncertainty regard technology and the competitor can copy and imitate imitate their idea and thought and some financial and strategic risk because if they are creating some new idea or new thoughts, so of course maybe they have faced some financial and strategic challenges and risk and high development cost because if we are creating or doing something first time, so we are not able to produce that thing in a low cost because it's our first attempt, and after doing it again and again we have the command on the cost. So this is the disadvantage of the first move. So here we complete this chapter and then we move to the next chapter, which is decision making, and in this we are going to learn some points. The first is basically decision definition and then process and then rational decision making and bounded rationality and satisfying an escalation of commitment and effects of decision making and intuition based decision making, and then we will discuss the programmed and unprogrammed decisions and then we discuss the metrics, regret and payoff metrics, and the styles of decision making, and biases and errors of decision making, and negative effect which the manager are dealing, and managerial decision making model, and contemporary issues which we are facing nowadays. So this is the outline of decision making, and then we are move to the next slide in which we have the decision making process and definition. Basically, what is decision? Basically, decision is anything. We are taking decision day to day. For example, we are taking decision what we have to wear, what we have to eat in lunch, what we have to take in breakfast, and whether we have to go for shopping today or not, whether we are going to read any book, any sort of chapter, and whether we are doing some cleaning and preparing some food or doing some businesses and go to gym or not, everything because we are taking decision in everything. We are deciding something at every movement, at every second. So in organization we have the same thing. The manager are dealing with the day-to-day things. They are taking decision every second, every moment in the organization, whether they have to give finance to the finance department, whether they are launch the product in this week or in a month, or whether they have to um, uh, provide to or order some raw material or not, whether they increase the working hour or they decrease it, or whether they hire more employer or they fire some employer, and whether they motivate and do some training of employer or not. So these all the things which the managers are managing in organization. So basically decision is making choice from the alternative. We have so many alternatives and we are choosing the best one. For example, if we woke up in the morning and we have so many choices, we can take egg, we can eat some kebabs, we can take sandwiches, we can take juice, or we can take some plain coffee with nuts, and we can take some oats, we can take some dry fruits. So we have so many alternatives, but we are choosing the best alternative according to our taste bud, according to our likeness. So the meal which we enjoy, or the meal which is healthy for us. So so this is the same scenario with the manager. Manager have so many alternatives, and they are choosing the best alternative among many alternatives. So the best choice is basically decision making. So here is the process of decision making. Decision making process, we have first identifying the problem. So first we have to know what's the problem we are facing, whether it's the production issues, there is some manufacturing issue, whether the sales are declining, whether we have a shortage of raw material, whether we are not doing marketing properly, whether our strategy is not implementing properly. So what the issue? So and we don't have to mix the problem with the symptoms of issue. So we have to differentiate between them, and then we give weight according to their criteria, which thing is more important for us, and then we categorize it and we give some points or weight according to the importance of the issue, and then after identifying the problem, we analyzed it and select the alternative which we consider the best, and then we try to solve them. So then, after analysis, we get some facts and figure and some knowledge about the reason and about the cause of the problem. So after it, we are able to solve it more efficiently. And after analyzation, and after get the solution, we can implement it. And after implementation, we can evaluate or and see the consequences and consequences of decision effectiveness, whether the decision is effective and it gives the good results, or whether it's not producing good results. So we evaluate the consequences of the decision and the mm, the alternative way which we implement. So then, uh, in the first step, we have in the first step, identifying problem. There is some points. The first is basically problem. Problem is basically the discrepancy between existing and desired states of affairs. Basically, there is the gap, and we can see lacking between the existence and the desired situation, desired state. So, for example, if the organization is producing the 1 crore profit, so and their target is 5 crore, so the actual situation is 1 crore revenue, and the desire is 4 crore. Their mission is 4 crore revenue. So this is the gap, this is the lacking, and uh, the organization treat it as a problem. And for example, if we take the example of individual and very simple example, if a student is now getting the grade A or grade B, and he want to maintain it to A1 grade, so the actual situation is grade A, and the desire is A1 grade. So this is the gap and discrepancy and the liking. And if we take the example, if we take more example, for example, if anyone has a weight of 60 kg and he or she want to gain it, he or she want to want 50 kg. So there is the lacking between and discrepancy between the actual and desired situation. Then we have the characteristics of problem. So problem become a problem when manager become aware of it. When we acknowledge the problem, so it's becoming a problem. If we if we consider it as a problem, so it's become a problem. For example, so many people have 60 kg weight, so some of them consider it as a problem, and some of them don't consider it as a problem. And many students are gaining are getting the A grade, so some of them are trying to improve them, and some of them are okay with that. And many organizations are making profit, so some of them are going to increase the profit, and some of them are okay with the existing profit. So when the manager aware of the problem, so it become deeper. So and of course, when we identifying our problem and when we aware of it, so then we have a pressure to solve it. So and then manager have the authority, information, and resources need to solve the problem. So he has or she has some sort of information and authority and resources to solve it without resources and without information and knowledge, the manager is unable to solve the problem. And after it, we have to identifying decision criteria. So, decision criteria are factors that are important to solving the problem. Cost that will be incurred, what, what will be the cost of solving the problem, and risk likely to be encountered, what the level of risk we are going to face, and outcomes that are desired. So what outcome we will get after solving it, and what are the results, what are the consequences. So first we require some investments, and then we look at the chances of failure, and then we if the if we get if we get the desired outcome, so what the growth and what the development of the firm. So then we have to allocating weights to the criteria. So um, all decision criteria are not equal of importance. So all the things are not equally important. Some are more important than other, and some are more important than other, and some are not not more important than other. So it's very and and then assigning weight to each items in terms of their priority, in terms of their importance. So in this way we get the clear picture about our about that what thing is more important than other, and what we have to do in order to achieve it, and in order to solve it. And after it we are able to take decision on the basis of the importance of the items. And then developing alternatives. So we identifying all the viable alternative, all the essential alternative, and we list down, and then after it we evaluate every alternative, and after the evaluation, the alternative which we give the best results, we choose it. So we choose the best alternative, only the manual alternative. So after developing it, after listing it, and then we analyze the alternatives. We analyze every alternative strength and weaknesses. So after the listing, we can do the analysis, we can evaluate it, and an alternative appraisal is based on its ability to solve the issue identified in the statement. So after analysis, after evaluation, we can be able to know the strength and weaknesses of every alternative, and according to it, we can choose the best alternative, and in this way, we are able to make a good decision, and we can get more benefits from it. And selecting an alternative, after we select the alternative, the best alternative, the alternative which gave the total highest weights, highest priority, and maximum benefits, and after it we implement the decision. So putting the chosen alternative into action, when we choose the alternative, and then after it we implement it, and we choose alternative into action, so convey the decision to and gaining commitment from those who will carry out the decision. So then we convey our decision, and then we gain the commitment from those who will carry out the decision. So commitment of decision, we will discuss it in the coming slide. So it's also very um, interesting topic. And after it, we evaluate the decision effectiveness, how effective the decision is, and how much benefit we get from it, and what are the results, what are the outcomes. The soundness of the decision is judged by its outcome. If we get the good outcome, so it means the decision is good. And if we get the poor outcomes, and we are not able to achieve our desired outcomes, and desired performance or desired results, so it means the decision was not effective, or maybe we don't implement it properly. So we then start the process again, and we take the decision B. So in this way, we are able to achieve our desired outcome or desired states. So we evaluate why we don't achieve our desired outcome, what the lacking, and what we did wrong, and what the problem we are facing, in which step we do mistakes. So after it, we repeat the process, and then we take the decisions again, and we try to achieve the benchmark or desired states. And decision making. In decision making, we have the first one is rationality. Rationality is basically logic and reasonable thinking. So manager make consistent and value maximizing choices with specific cost. So basically, the manager are make the decision which are value maximizing. So Um, so there are some assumptions about the decision making. Um, are perfectly rational, fully objective, and logical. So decision must be rational, and full objective and logical, and analyzed, and carefully define all the viable or essential alternatives, and have clear and specific goals. So and select the alternative with maximum outcomes, and rather than in interest of personal in their personal interest. So the manager are choosing the um, alternative which best for the organization, which best for the interest of other, not only for their personal interest. So the first thing keep in mind is that we have to keep the interest of all organization in the mind. And then we have assumption of rationality. There are some assumption of rationality which we present them in the diagram. So problem must be clear and unambiguous. So it must be clear. It's not vague. So we have uh, to aware the problem. We don't have to confuse the problem with the symptoms of problem. So in this way, we are able to solve it more properly. And single and well-defined goal is to be achieved. So our goal must be well defined. So in this way, we are able to achieve it. And we know all the alternative and the results and the consequences we get from the alternative, and preferences are clear. So what we prefer, what's our priority, are must be clear, and preferences are constant and stable. So they are constant and stable, they are not varying. So in this way we are able to take decision rationally. And no time or cost constraint exists. So this is the assumption in which we have no time or cost constraint exists, and the final choice will maximize payoff. So if we choose anything finally, so it's maximize the payoff, it's maximize the outcome, it's maximize the results. And then we have the bounded rationality. In bounded rationality, we have the so in bounded rationality we have the that manager take decision rationally, but they have limited ability, and they are limited or bounded by their ability to process information. So whether how much the manager is rational, but the capacity of their knowledge, and they have limited ability to process the information. Everyone have the capacity. Some have a good capacity, some have a low capacity, but everyone have a limited capacity. So the manager can process the certain way of certain amount of knowledge, certain amount of information. Beyond that, they are not able to manage and process it. So they are take the decision on bounded rationality. So the assumptions of bounded rationality of decision maker is that seek out and have knowledge of all alternative. So they are unable to seek out or knowledge of all alternative. They are not able to consider all alternatives. So will satisfy choose the first alternative encounter that satisfactory solve the problem. So maybe he chose the first alternative which solve the problem rather than maximizing the outcome of their decision by considering all alternative and choosing the rest. So they choose the first alternative rather to evaluate the other ones. So if we take the example of this, so for example, if any individual had to do jobs, so and they apply in many organizations and they get offers from two organizations in which one is 20 50 mile away from the house, and the second is uh, 45 or 40 mile away. So and the one is offering the 40,000, and the other is offering just 35,000. So the individual is going to choose the near one, and maybe choose the near one, the 45 mile is offering the 35,000. So the individual maybe choose the nearest place near 45 mile away job on salary of 35,000 and reject the other one because it's more far from the house. So in this way, they are not explore the um, all alternatives. Maybe if individual, if he and she apply for the more jobs, so maybe he get a more good pay and more there and more good job. So because we have bounded personality, so we are not able to evaluate all the alternatives. So in the organization scenario, the manager is also facing this. And then we have influence on decision making. So first is exploration. So in this we are committed to our decision, whether they are good or bad, but we have some sort of commitment with our decision. If the students are reading the book, so in book we have an example of spacecraft astronaut in which seven members are dead in the disaster. So, so in this scenario, they have explanation of commitment. If the decision is wrong, but we are defending it in a way that it's not the wrong decision, we are doing the right and we do it. So when they are planning or launching the aircraft. So one of them are saying that the temperature is cold and there is a chance of fuel leakage. So it's not good idea to launch the crafting launch this craft in today. Hmm. So, but they are not accepting the manufacturing default because they don't have the ring on that area. So they have committed to their decision and they um, don't listen the individual. They don't accept the lacking of their decision, lacking in their decision, and they launch it and they have disaster and seven people dead in that disaster. To some time we are make the decisions which are not good, but we are committed to it because we are not accepting the drawbacks and not accepting the lacking of our decisions. So, increasing or continuing a commitment to previous decisions despite mounting evidence that they are legal may have been wrong. So we are continuously doing it. We are continuously um, continue it because we are not accepting that we made the wrong decisions. We are doing the wrong. So we have so many examples of this. Students are doing this, and we are doing it in the relationship. We are doing it in our career. We are doing it in our day-to-day things. So it's also wrong because it's ultimately give us the bad consequences and we get the negative results from it. So we have to accept our decisions. We make wrong choices, and now it's time to modify it, and it's time to take a new decision, and it's time to left it. So escalation of commitment is basically about we are continue continue to continuing a commitment to previous decision despite um, accepting the evidence that maybe we make it decisions. So then we have the role of intuition. In role of intuition, we are taking decisions on the basis of feelings, experiences, and judgment. In this, the manager take the feelings on their goods and on their uh, feeling if on their judgment. They are not only rely on the facts and figures. So this is also the style of decision making. We will cover the style of decision making too. So some are taking decision on the logical and rational and facts and figure based decision, and some are taking the decision on the basis of feeling, judgment, and experiences. So every manager have their own styles of decision making. So there is nothing good and bad about it, but it's just about their personality and style and individual which decision which decision making style is with which decision making style he or she is comfortable. So in intuition, what is intuition? So there is a dramatic presentation of intuition. So what is we have some points. So experience-based decision. Experience-based decision is the decision in which the individual take decision on the basis of their experiences and their past experiences. So manager make decision based on their past experiences. So the experiences and the things uh, which they encounter in their day-to-day um, in their day-to-day or in their previous life events. So they take decision according to it and then affect initiated decision. Manager make decision based on feeling or emotion. So in this, the manager take the decision based on their feelings or emotions. So it's also the type of decision and cognitive based decision. In cognitive based decision, the manager take the decision based on their skills, knowledge, and training. What type of training they have, what type of skills they have, and the knowledge they have. So they are taking decision on their knowledge, skills, and training and subconscious mental processing. In this, manager use the data from subconscious mind to help to make decision. So they are using data from their subconscious mind, and on the basis of it, the manager take the decision. Value or ethical based decision. So basically, the manager make the decision on the basis of ethical values and culture. So some managers value give the importance to ethics and culture and value beliefs, but some are more open-minded, so they are not consider it. They are more practical, logical, minded. Some are value the experiences. They are saying that I'm saying this on the basis of experience, and some are more based on the feelings and emotions and goals. And it's depend on the person development and thinking process and personality and their way of taking decision and with which style he or she is comfortable. So everyone has their own decision making style. So suppose if we have uh, numbers of managers and all have some money and do invest money for investment in their businesses. So everyone have their own approach to investment. Someone someone invested in uh, in furniture, someone invest in their marketing, someone invest in stocks, and someone everyone have their own approach because everyone have their own mindset how to do the things and how to and good good outcomes and good consequences satisfy them and what things they value most. So these all are depend on the individual personality and other traits. Problem and decision making. So we have a structure problem and program decision. In the structure problem, we have the goals that are clear and we are familiar with all the goals and we are cleared and they are more well defined and they are easily and completely defined and information about the problem is available and complete. So in a structured problem, we have complete knowledge of the problem, and we are clear about the goals, and we have clarity. We are familiar. We have complete knowledge. So this is the structured problem. So then we have program decision. In program decision, we have repetitive decision can be handled by a routine approach. So in this, we are taking the repetitive decision. Repetitive decision is basically day to day clothing, day to day lunch, dinner, and day to day visits, and day to day homeworks and university works and day to day things. So we are doing it on routine basis. So these type of decisions are mostly taken by the lower staff and type of program decisions. So we have a type of program decision. The first one is policy, and then procedure, and then we have rule. So policy is basically the journal rules, journal guidelines um, for making decision about the structural part. So journal guidelines, it can be anything. So for example, in any restaurant, so the waiter is a spill the cold drink or drink or water for customers. So the policy is that the food is washed by the restaurant and the restaurant is paid for the washing. So this is the policy which the restaurant is defined in their guidelines. So policy is basically the journal guidelines to take the decision, and they are more structured and procedure. Procedure is basically a series of interrelated steps that a manager can use to structure problem. So procedure is basically the um, applying a policy. Policy is basically guideline, and after when we apply those guidelines, so we are adopting and we are following some procedure. So it's basically the process and the procedure which the manager is responding in order to apply their policy. So it is also used in structural problem. And then we have rule. In rule, we have explicit statement that limit what a manager or employee can and cannot with do in carry out this step involved in a procedure. So a rule is basically what the manager can do and what the manager cannot do. So the policy is basically washing the boat. It's not about to purchasing the new clothes. So this is the thing which washing is the thing which the restaurant is doing, and purchasing a new food is the thing which is not the restaurant able to do. So rule is basically what the statements, explicit statements that restrict the manager what he can do and he cannot do. So rules are also exist in organization because it's an important part. And then we have the policy accept all customer return merchandise. So examples. So we can this is the policy we can accept. We have return policy and the customers can return product if he or she is not satisfied with. And then in procedure, follow all these steps by completing merchandise return documentation. And if the individual is returning the merchandise, so he or she is do all do um, or complete all the steps of documentation, written documentation, and then we have the rules. Manager must approve all return forms over $550. So manager have to refund $50, and no credit purchase are refunded for cash. So credit purchase are not refunded for cash if the individual purchases on the credit, so it not partially return for cash. So policy is basically the general guideline, and procedure is the steps which the individual is following, and the rule is basically what the organization can do and cannot. So every organization have some restriction because if they are not doing and they are not restricted to things, so in this way they are not able to make profit or they are not able to run the organization. So every organization has some limits, and in this way they are carry on their work. And then we have a structure problem, then monthly grant problem. And any structure problem is basically the problem which are new and unusual, and the information is ambiguous and incomplete. These are the problems which are handled by the top level managers, and problem required the problem that will require custom made solution. So these are the problem. They are unusual. They are unique. They are uncertain, and they are certain, and the information about this is incomplete, and it's ambiguous. It's vague. So we have to example of Elon Musk, the CEO of the Tulsa Motorways and Nike. So he has a PayPal payment app which he sold, and then he joined the Nike and the Tesla and SpaceX. So Tulsa is basically the automobile cars, and Nike is the shoe manufacturing company, and SpaceX is basically making the rocks for space. So very different natures of organization, and every organization is very successful in making very good money. So he is a person who is got with the unusual and very unique problems, and he coped with it, and he managed with it. So he is a good example of this. He is a good manager and good problem solver of the good problem solver and good decision maker. He coped with the unusual problem and unexpected. So then we have the non-programmed decisions. Non-programmed decisions are basically the unique and non-reoccurring. So these are the decisions which are unique and non-reoccurring, which are not occur again and again, and decisions that generate unique responses. So we can take the example of pandemic because it's the first time and it's the unique and it's the non-reoccurring one we are facing. So because of it, we are very confused about the solutions and we have difficulty to cope with it and we are trying to find a solution for it and we are trying to find the way to get out from it. So these type of problems are complex and difficult and we have difficulty to face them. So manager and top management is facing this type of problem day to day, and it's depend on the manager how effectively and efficiently they solve them, and on the basis of it they are able to make good decisions and they generate more profits and create a good will of organization and maintain and sustain the organization and gain the competitive advantage in the market. Because good decision leads to good results, and if we take the good decisions, so we have a good results, we have a good performance, we have a good income, we have a good staff, and we have good plans. So it's all about decision implementation and ability to achieve the desired states. So then we have to type of problem, type of decisions and levels in organization. So we have to diagram in which we have type of problem. The first one is here we have unstructured and here we have well structured, and we have two portion in which we have program decision and here we have non-program. So top level is solving the unstructured problem and non-programmed decisions, and the lower level is facing the is solving the is taking the program decision and well. So the top level is basically coping with the uh, unstructured, unique, and unexpected problem, and the lower level is basically dealing or taking decisions which are programmed and which are defined, which are clear, which, we have full information, and the top level is basically coping with the problems which are unique and the information is incomplete and there is an ambiguity. So, so uh, these are the things, um, type of problems and level of organization and then type of decisions. So then we have the decision making conditions. So I think it's 11, so my time is almost finished. So I'm going to stop here and we will continue from the next slide in the next session. So hope you guys are getting some concepts and some clarity from these lectures, and if any queries you have to, so you can ask on the WhatsApp group, contact me personally. So this is the end of session, and inshallah we will continue from this slide in the coming session. Take care, students.